First, we have Chris Brown and Rihanna. Chris Brown and Rihanna were once Hollywood royalty at the height of their romance. The two first met as teenagers in 2005 while starting off in the music industry, and it was from that initial meeting that they continued to cross paths. Fast forward to 2008, and it was revealed that the two were officially dating, according to Hollywood Life. Everything seemed to be going well until that fateful night in 2009 when it was reported that Brown had physically hurt Rihanna. Chris Brown was arrested and eventually charged with felony battery. When the pair went to court in mid-2009, Chris pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 5 years of probation as well as community service and domestic counseling. Rihanna even filed a restraining order against the singer, which further shocked fans when the two tried rekindling their relationship years later. Next up, let's talk about Selena and Justin. Before Justin Bieber married Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber, and settled into his role as husband, the baby singer was linked to Selena Gomez for quite some years. Gomez and Bieber first went public with their relationship in 2011 after making an appearance at the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Since the relationship was super public, the two had a rather hard time keeping things just between them. There were many accusations of cheating and many times the two constantly hurting each other, according to LA Times. In an interview with Zane Lowe in February 2020, Bieber admitted to being reckless while dating Selena. "I think I was just hurt from my previous relationship," Bieber explained. "I think I still was dealing with a lot of unforgiveness and all that sort of stuff. To be honest, I don't even think I knew what I was struggling with at the time. In my previous relationship," he says, "I went off and I just went crazy and wild, just being reckless," he added, speaking about his time dating Selena. Next up, we have Madonna and Sean Penn. Madonna and Penn's romance first started in 1985 after meeting on the set for the music video Material Girl. Both of them had just gotten out of relationships and first started off as friends. However, their platonic relationship quickly bloomed into a romantic one, and by August 1985, the two tied the knot on Madonna's 27th birthday. The relationship started off good, but eventually things started to get rocky due to Penn's unpredictable outbursts and temper. The actor had a major jealous streak and would often fly off the hinges when he saw other men getting close to Madonna. Eventually, Madonna filed for divorce in December 1987, later withdrawing the papers before filing again in January 1989. It's been rumored that the singer suffered years of mistreatment from Penn, which was believed to be the reason for their split. According to the Daily Beast, Madonna shut down those rumors in 2017, insisting the actor never laid a finger on her during their marriage. "I am aware of these allegations that have surfaced over the years, accusing Shawn of incidents of physical violence against me," she says. "Specifically, I am aware of the allegations concerning an alleged incident that occurred in June 1987, whereby, according to tabloids, Shawn struck me with a baseball bat. I know the allegations in those and other reports to be outrageous, malicious, reckless, and false." Next up, we have John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy is known to be quite the handful, and fans believe John needs to get out of the marriage. John Legend has revealed that he once did try to break up with Chrissy Teigen years before they were even married, and her hilarious reaction: "I was really stressed and busy," John told The Guardian. "I was just like, I'd be happier single right now," and she was like, no. As she's known to do, Chrissy then took to Twitter after the story went viral to share a little bit more about the long ago incident. 11 years later, baby, she tweeted. "It wasn't a typical breakup," she continued. "He was on tour, his voice hurt, and he was being a whiny face about everything, and so yeah, I was like, no." Chrissy also revealed she was always jealous earlier on in their relationship. Appearing on Andy Cohen's radio show, the mom of four recalled she was so jealous and, quote, so unhinged when she and John were first together, admitting that she'd start arguments after his concerts, going to his shows when I was younger, like when we'd first met, and he would pull up a girl for the slow dance and we would fight about this at the end of the night, she says. Next up, we have Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian. Kardashian and Disick first met in 2006 at a party thrown by Girls Gone Wild creator Joe Francis in Mexico. Apparently, Kardashian wasn't really into Scott at first, saying, quote, "I just thought he was so annoying," she explained during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. "He was 4 years younger than me, he lived in New York, he didn't have a job." The couple's early stages of their relationship were captured during the earlier seasons of the reality show, and they seem to be going strong. However, Disick's substance use, heavy partying, and drinking seemed to draw issues in his relationship with Kourtney. The couple broke up in 2015 after Scott is photographed with Los Angeles stylist Chloe Bartoli. However, the two eventually get back together in December 2016, with a source telling E! News that, quote, "They are getting back together and giving their relationship a try again. Scott has mellowed out a lot and has not been partying." By February 2017, Disick and Kardashian have broken up again after Disick is caught cozying up with two models in Miami. Next up, we have another Kardashian couple, the more famous one, of course, Kim and Kanye. Fans of the pair will know that over the course of their almost 7-year-long marriage, during which they had 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Som, Kim and Kanye, aka Kimye, established a strong legacy as one of the world's biggest and most appealing celebrity couples ever. But their marriage was simultaneously one filled with arguments and moments of turbulence, many of which were documented across Keeping Up with the Kardashians. After their divorce in 2021, Kanye has done some tabloid-worthy things surrounding their past relationship. After the gold digger artist made headlines for wearing a very controversial shirt during his Yeezy presentation at Paris Fashion Week, Kanye took to Instagram to question the backlash against him and to double down on his previous claims that the Kardashian family kept him from attending Chicago's birthday party that January. "So why did everybody feel so free to attack me about my t-shirt?" he says. "But Candace Owens was the only public figure to say that it was wrong for the Kardashians to keep me from seeing my daughter," West wrote via social media, referring to his previous claims that in January when he alleged the Kardashians would not allow him to attend Chicago's birthday party. "Or we just chime in when we want to tear a black man down for actually having a political opinion," he continues. "And for all the audience to be so outraged about my t-shirt, where was you when I couldn't see my kids? I went public in hope of public support at the time," he says. Kardashians, for their part, have repeatedly denied Kanye's claims about Chicago's birthday after Khloe commented on Kanye's post begging him to, quote, "Please stop tearing Kimberly down," adding she and her family have had enough of the false birthday narrative. Kanye hit back to her with an all-caps response, quote, "You are lying and are liars. Y'all basically kidnapped Chicago on her birthday so she could remember her father not being there." Next up, we have Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Started off their relationship by being co-workers, but it quickly evolved into something more romantic. Fox and Kelly, whose real name is Colson Baker, met on the set of Midnight in the Switchgrass in March 2020. The couple raised eyebrows in February 2021 when the rapper revealed he wears a necklace with Megan's blood in it around his neck. 3 months later, Kelly explained why that gift means so much to him while appearing on The Ellen Show. Quote, "Well, she was actually going out of town to film a movie. This was really new in our relationship," he explains. "I didn't have a passport, so she was going out to Bulgaria, and I was kind of freaking out, like, you're gonna leave and I can't even come see you?" As a result, Megan gave him the pendant, which he carries with him when he isn't wearing it around his neck. "Some people give like a handkerchief to their partner. She gave me her DNA," he added. In 2023, Megan sparked split speculation when she scrubbed Kelly from her Instagram and posted a series of pictures, a video of letters burning with a caption from Beyonce's infamous Lemonade album. The post came the same weekend the twosome attended several Super Bowl events, but according to a source, the actress ditched their plans after a, quote, huge fight. She also deactivated her social media profile. She was supposed to go to his performance at the Sports Illustrated party, but they had a fight and she canceled plans and flew out Saturday evening, the insider told us. Oh, us. Despite the drama, a source told Us Weekly that Fox and Kelly were still together. They both have a very intense relationship and they are very passionate people. That combination can sometimes explode and they love hard but also fight hard, the insider explains. It is really a communication issue that they need to work through, and that is why they are going to counseling. The source continued, Machine Gun Kelly feels conflicted about partying like a rock star and enjoying this exciting time in his life instead of settling down. Megan has passed this partying phase of life, and that's why they're at different stages. That is the real reason why they're struggling at the moment. First off, we have Shawn and Camila. While they have been friends for years, it wasn't until July 2019 when Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello announced they were dating. The couple had already collaborated on several hit songs together, including their smash hit Senorita, and it seems as if working on music so frequently is what eventually led them to form a relationship. But since going public with their romance, fans haven't been convinced that their pairing is genuine, with many speculating whether the whole thing was just one big PR stunt to further promote their solo careers. Given that they've had a lot of success with their collaborations, pairing up and telling the world that a relationship came out of their frequent studio sessions isn't that hard to believe, but fans have a lot of reasons to believe this romance is nothing but smoke and mirrors. Once their second single, Senorita, was released in June 2019, both singers appeared very affectionate towards each other, both on stage and behind the scenes. The following weeks, Camila and Shawn were seen everywhere, sharing plenty of date nights as their song continued to climb the charts, eventually reaching the top spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and selling well over 4 million units in the US alone. By July, the pair went public with their romance, but it wasn't long before people started speculating whether their supposed love for one another was a PR stunt. Fans on social media were quick to voice their opinions about the news of Camila and Shawn dating, with one person saying, quote, "Which was the worst attempt at a fake relationship PR stunt to promote a collaboration? Zed dating Selena Gomez or Shawn dating Camila?" Another writing, "Are you guys done promoting Senorita yet?" Next up, we have Lindsay Lohan and Samantha Ronson, an English DJ. Perhaps Samantha wanted a little taste of fame when she got into a tumultuous relationship with Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay and Samantha made headlines during their relationship, which went down in absolute flames in 2009. Videos of their dramatic fights even hit the internet, including one where they tearfully fought outside of Samantha's home. Then, in a tweet, Lindsay accused Samantha of cheating on her. Quote, "Being cheated on does wonders to you. I'm doing this publicly because you and your friends call People magazine. So, you win. You broke my heart. Now go away. I loved you," she tweeted, adding, "Please leave me alone and stop staying in the room below me. You've woken me and my mother up. Go to bed. Keep cheating. You win." Next up, we have Jessie James and Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock was already one of the world's highest paid actresses before they started dating. In 2013, she got paid $70 million for the movie Gravity. So I'm sure ex Jessie James wanted in on those riches. Jessie and Sandra Bullock's almost 5-year marriage went down in flames when the world found out he cheated on her with multiple women. And as of 2017, it sounds like he still doesn't think it's such a big deal. In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life, he told the Daily Mail. We have a feeling that Sandra would disagree. Next, we have Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott. Tori and Dean have had a pretty rocky relationship, and all the ups and downs of their more than 10-year marriage have been broadcast for the entire world to see thanks to their reality stardom. In 2014, Dean famously cheated on Tori, and the woman he cheated with, Emily Goodhand, spilled all the details in an interview with Us Weekly. Dean later ended up going to rehab for intimacy addiction, we'll call it, and he and Tori are still married to this day. The one-night stand with Emily Goodhand allegedly took place after a group of friends met up at a bar in Toronto, where Dean was on a promotional tour for his hosting job on the show Chopped. Emily was a friend of a friend, and the two were introduced. Her occupation was not disclosed. "He seems like a cool guy," Emily said. "I thought he was very handsome." They became friendly over an 8-hour meal at a restaurant sitting side by side. "We were just having fun and hanging out," Emily added. When heading towards the bar at his hotel, he was flirting, she added, and she explained that she was attracted to him because his personality was, quote, "very charming." She explained later that she felt she could trust him because he opened up to her and was talking about his kids and his work with her. She also said that they knew a lot of the same people, so we had that in common, she says. During drinks at his Fairmont hotel, Dean did not openly flirt with Emily as there were other friends around them, but later the two exchanged phone numbers, then he slipped his card key with his room number into her purse. "We just looked at each other," Emily said. After slyly leaving with friends and making it seem as if she was going home, Emily instead went to Dean's hotel room. At first he wasn't there, but then she texted him and he showed up up within seconds. He wanted to make me feel good, she explained after he flooded her with compliments. Then the time for talking was over. Next, we have Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. After less than 4 years of marriage and a reality show, Newlyweds Nick and Jessica on MTV, the couple found themselves in the middle of an extremely public divorce. At first, Jessica Simpson and Nick separated, and then in 2005, Jessica filed for divorce. During a 2015 interview on CNBC's Closing Bell, she revealed that her biggest financial mistake was marrying Nick, which makes sense since she had to pay him $12 million thanks to no prenup. The biggest money mistakes? I don't know. For some reason, I thought of my first marriage, she said, according to MSNBC. Next up, we have Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. This relationship was mutually beneficial as it kept both actors relevant through various tabloid headlines. Their relationship and marriage were super high profile, mainly because of their 15-year age difference, but it all came to an end in 2011 after 6 years of marriage, reportedly because Ashton cheated on Demi with Sarah Leal, according to Us Weekly. In 2018, Ashton revealed on Dax Shepard's podcast he didn't eat for a week after their split. Right after I got divorced, I went to the mountains for a week by myself, he said. I did no food, no drink, just water and tea. I took all my computers away, my phone, my everything. I was there by myself, so there was no talking. I just had a notepad, a pen, and water and tea for a week. Next, we have Ariana and Pete Davidson. The world was shocked when just weeks after they started dating, Ariana and Pete announced their engagement, complete with a ring and matching tattoos. But it didn't last long. By October, it was over. And as Ariana told Vogue in the August 2019 issue, their whole relationship was, quote, highly unrealistic. I met Pete and it was an amazing distraction, she says. It was frivolous and fun and insane and highly unrealistic, and I loved him, and I didn't know him. A couple months after their split, Ariana appeared to take a jab at her ex-fiance, writing on Twitter, quote, for somebody who claims to hate relevancy, you sure love clinging to it, huh? Moments later, Grande tweeted, thank you, next. The mysterious diss came just a few hours after Saturday Night Live released a promo video for that weekend's episode in which Pete Davidson jokingly proposed to singer Maggie Rogers. Hey Maggie, I'm Pete. You want to get married? Davidson says in the clip as Jonah Hill cringes while standing in between them. Next, we have Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. When Billy Bob and Angelina first got together in 2000, they were known for their quick, passionate love and the fact that they wore vials of each other's blood around their necks. Not weird at all. But they only stayed married for 3 years, and in 2018, he told HFPA in Conversation podcast that they would have stayed together if what they wanted out of life wasn't so vastly different. We just had different lifestyles, he says. Hers is a global lifestyle and mine is an agoraphobic lifestyle. So that's the only reason we're probably not still together, maybe. There was a different path in life that we wanted to take. Now let's discuss Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Nicole and Tom were married for 11 years, and when they divorced in 2001, Tom got custody of both of their children. In 2019, reports from the Daily Mail surfaced claiming that Tom was banning Nicole from their 24-year-old son Connor's wedding. Rumor has it that Tom's faith in Scientology is what made them split up, but Nicole told Who magazine she has no regrets. There were times following the divorce when I thought, wow, this is the loneliest existence. But with Tom, it was a fantastic decade, she told the magazine. I wish all the people that have been involved in my life well, because it's very important to me to be in a place of forgiveness and love. Lastly, we have Miley Cyrus and Luke Hemsworth. Fans think they initially got together just to promote their new movie. Cyrus and Hemsworth met in 2009 on the set of The Last Song, the movie adaptation of the popular Nicholas Sparks novel. Shortly after filming wrapped, the two confirmed their romance when they had a PDA-filled goodbye at the airport. Actor Alex Emanuel, who watched their, quote, full-on makeout, said the ultra-romantic exchange was like a scene out of an old movie where the guy is getting on a train and they're saying their goodbyes. After an on-and-off relationship for 10 years and the actors getting married, they finally split up in 2019. Miley's rep exclusively confirmed to People that the couple had split up. Liam and Miley have agreed to separate at this time, the rep said in a statement. The rep continued in the statement, ever evolving, changing as partners and individuals. They have decided that this is what is best while they both focus on themselves and careers. They still remain dedicated parents to all of their animals while lovingly taking this time apart. Please respect their process and their privacy. 3 days days later, Hemsworth addressed the separation in an Instagram post, writing, "Just a quick note to say that Miley and I have recently separated, and I wish her nothing but health and happiness going forward."
Anyways, Ariana Grande shocked the world when she divorced from her real estate husband, Dalton Gomez, who I personally think looks a lot like Pete Davidson if he wasn't from New York, and began dating yeah, SpongeBob. Well, at least from the Broadway musical Ethan Slater. And right away, the two began to get instant hate because of the rumored cheating that happened. And long story short, the two were in a different relationship and started hanging out and having double dates with their previous partners, and ultimately broke things off and ended up together. They've been quite quiet about their relationship, but one person who was Ethan's ex, Lily J, has welcomed their son back in 2022. But a year later, filed for divorce and began dating Ariana, and people have even compared Ethan to looking a lot like Ariana's brother Frankie. And let's take a look to compare, and let's take a guess on which one's Ariana's brother versus Ethan Slater. I'm gonna be completely honest, they look a lot like a different font of each other, or at least a mirror reflection. Well, if you guessed Frankie was on the left and Ethan was on the right, ding ding ding, you got it right. And one Reddit user wrote, "Ethan is slightly more punchable, I think it's his bob teeth." That was not my words, but another user also wrote, "They look like identical twins who have made a pact to look different from one another to little success. Like, I see the similarities and identical, maybe a little bit." Plus, others have been saying Ariana's been slowly morphing into Ethan, but I'll let you be the judge of that. And another celebrity couple that keeps getting in trouble is Kanye West and former Yeezy employee Bianca Censori. As controversial as Kanye is, this relationship just makes things worse, as many believe he is using Bianca like a prop in order to humiliate and get back at Kim. She looked a lot like Kim before dating Kanye, as we can see here. The hair, the style, the body, they were all similar. But once Bianca began dating the rapper, she completely changed her appearance. She's blonde now, has short hair, and many even noticed Kanye has completely changed her style, as she often wears sheer clothes that basically show off her entire body. And this couple has even gotten banned from a company in Italy after being photographed on their boat doing questionable activities, and that went viral. From the moment Selena Gomez made it public that she began dating Benny Blanco, the comment section went crazy. And they started to compare Benny Blanco to Pete Davidson, as they don't understand how he pulled such a beauty like Selena. And of course, beauty is suggestive, and months after hinting towards a new crush, it was finally confirmed in December of 2023. So first, she liked the celebrity post page about the rumors surrounding her and Benny, and then the same account posted that Selena liked their previous photo, and Selena even commented facts to confirm she is indeed dating Benny. Plus, let's take a look to see what she added on her story. She looks all cuddly and comfortable, but I can't stop staring at his zebra shirt. There's so many zebras. And when people commented about Selena's new relationship, calling Benny words like unhandsome, Selena would defend her man and write back with, "I feel bad for you." And in another comment, even added he's better than anyone else she's ever been with. So although many Selena fans are just happy she's happy, others are critical. But like Selena once said, "It comes naturally when you're with me, baby." Gypsy Rose was sentenced to prison after being involved in her mother's passing and gained huge media attention as she was recently released, and some are happy for her because of the motives behind her actions years ago, as she suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy. But since she was released, her husband Ryan has been getting hate, and many have been comparing his looks to Gypsy's mother Dee Dee, as we can see in this photo. The two side by side are honestly quite similar, but she wasn't afraid to defend her love in his Instagram comments, telling him not to let the hate get to him because they're just jealous he's got a fire D. Her words, not mine. Okay, for a period of time, I'm pretty sure I couldn't search for football scores or news without seeing anything about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And this made many fans, I should specify and say football fans, mad because there were so many comments about how she's just using him for a new album. But the majority were mad that too many broadcasters were mentioning Taylor Swift and would cut away to the game, which made them feel like it was destroying it. I don't know, I don't really watch football. Chris, the producer, what do you think about this?
Actually, I don't watch football.
Oh, well, you can let us know if you watch football, but besides all that, her fans seem to be very happy for her, as they've been sharing clips of him attending her shows, and according to both their families, they've never seen them happier. Have you ever seen that girl who went viral for dressing up as Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce as a couple's costume? years before they actually began dating because that girl and her boyfriend should buy a lottery ticket. Have you ever adopted a child and years later decided to marry them? Yeah, it's weird, right? Because this is exactly what Woody Allen's relationship with his own stepdaughter is like. In fact, he ended his 10-year affiliation with his wife at the time after Mia Farrow in order to pursue his relationship with Soon Yi, which is his adopted daughter. I don't understand how this is allowed, but I don't know, it might just be me. They even appeared on red carpet events together, hand in hand, and if you don't know the story between them, you would assume there is nothing wrong, but the other adopted siblings have claimed disgusting acts Woody allegedly did to them. Definitely a hated celebrity couple, and personally, I think it's a good reason. Anyways, I always see things on my social media that I simply don't care about, and that includes Jada Pinkett Smith and her relationship with Will Smith. And although Jada seems to be what many point their finger towards, calling her a narcissist who overshares information that should be kept private. Whoa, sorry Will, I'll make sure to keep her name out of my mouth once she stops oversharing information that we didn't ask for. But they have ultimately grown as a couple. Many can't stand it, and those who once supported him have even given up on him because of his wife. I mean, the two even had a school back in 2008 called New Village Leadership Academy, which taught curriculum with a technique called study technology, which is a method devised by L. Ron Hubbard, who is the founder of the cult or religion Scientology. But yeah, the couple has been criticized for everything from their relationship to red table talk and their parenting, and of course the Oscars slap. One couple I definitely did not see coming was the romance between Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. The two, who seem to be complete opposites, have been spending time together away from the spotlight, but of course not too far away because there are photos of the two showing PDA, and this was just surprising to some, with one person asking if this was a prank. Another user wrote, "Tell me how I still don't believe Timothy and Kylie know each other despite there being video evidence now." Here, let's see a photo of the two side by side and see if it's really surprising or not. Oops, wrong one, I meant to show this one. They were kissing and everything, but I think no matter who Kylie dates, they will probably get hate for just being with her. Stormy baby, it looks like Timothy's your new stepfather. Moving on, imagine being with someone for 10 years and once you guys break up, they begin dating someone who you met as a child. While Vanessa Hudgens and Austin Butler were long-term lovers before ultimately splitting, which resulted in Austin dating supermodel Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya Gerber. She is much younger than Austin and was a fan of Vanessa back when High School Musical was released. Look at the difference. It's so crazy that they didn't know it back then, but both girls would end up dating the same man. And because of this, many have actually begun to have a lack of respect towards Austin. Alexa, play I Gotta Go My Own Way from High School Musical 2. Usually the royal family marries within, but Prince Harry had other thoughts as he married former Suits actress Meghan Markle. But since day one, they have gained a ton of hate, especially due to their public appearances and interviews speaking up against the royal family and making serious claims against them. But over the years, it appears the two have been going strong as they even welcomed a family of their own. But it doesn't seem like they have a very good relationship with the royals themselves, and there's even been videos of the public ignoring Meghan or not liking her.
Number 10. Justin and Hailey Bieber. Before becoming husband and wife, Justin and Hailey were slowly building up their careers as a musician and a model respectively. They met while Justin was still dating fellow pop musician and former Disney star Selena Gomez, and struck up a secret romance. As Justin and Selena were constantly on and off again, Hailey and Justin became closer and closer with each subsequent split, being friends at first, but eventually they became an official item in 2018. While they were both fairly famous before becoming official following their marriage, it's arguable that they've risen to a new level of success and recognition, which means people are gonna hate them. Justin was becoming one of the most replayed artists around the world, and Hailey has been working hard in the fashion industry, both on stage and behind a sewing machine. While their relationship may be true love, the fame and recognition that come with it, that come with their celebrity status, will certainly be driving the relationship for the foreseeable future. Number 9. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Despite only being back together for like maybe 2 years, these two have received a ton of online hate, but the way that they behave together on the red carpet doesn't really help the situation. There's a ton of footage from red carpet events and award shows where the couple seem to be having some kind of a heated argument. While attending the premiere of J-Lo's movie The Mother, the couple were photographed and filmed on the red carpet having a very heated discussion that seemed like it was a fight, as the moment cameras flashed, they popped back into smile mode. However, according to a lip-reading expert, these two almost never fight, but they have the most sour faces when they're trying to kid around. The expert broke down this specific exchange, claiming that Jen simply simply asked Ben how she looked, and he responded with, "You look fine." And apparently the rest of the argument was just them being cute, with Ben constantly making sure that she was comfortable and asking her if she wants him closer, to which she said yes please. This is just an example of a couple who seem to be mad on camera and the world is convinced that that's true, but in all honesty they're both just weirdos with very expressive faces. Number 8, MGK and Megan Fox. Megan and Sheen first met on the set of Midnight in Switchgrass. For anyone who is unaware, MGK has been slowly making a move to the silver screen, and while it might be in smaller roles, his performances have been anything but. During production of this film, it was forced to shut down due to it being, March in 2020. Need I go on? While everyone flew home, these two decided to keep in touch, apparently being seen walking together only 2 months after the film was shut down. The slew of evidence started to arrive on Instagram that their relationship has been chronicalized since the very beginning for all of us to enjoy, and MGK seems to be a good BF for the most part, so any hate they're getting really is not warranted. This dude painted nails with Drew Barrymore. He's a good guy. Number 7, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Travis and Taylor have been the internet's favorite couple after Travis was spotted attending one of Taylor's Era Tour shows and were solidified when she attended a Kansas Chiefs game, and then 10 more. Taylor has a long list of boyfriends that have either been another step in her journey or the inspiration for an absolute bop. So far, Travis and Taylor are still together, but it took a few weeks of them being together before any legitimate information came to be. Before the relationship was confirmed, it wasn't like they were hiding anything. For instance, only 2 weeks after the rumor started circulating, Taylor paid for an entire restaurant's food just so she could kick them out and keep the restaurant for herself. She was also spotted having a great time at various Chiefs games with Travis's mom, and then left with Travis himself. As the weeks have gone by, she's appeared less and less at his football games, and so far they have stayed out of the news, apart from some stories about Taylor and Selena Gomez having a good time out in the city. But the internet continues to debate of, are these people a good combination? Will this relationship result in a new song at some point in Taylor's life? Who knows, really? The last serious relationship Taylor was in was like 6 years long, and so far it's looking like this might be the case for Travis. He seems like a decent dude, and only someone who knows what they want, and only someone who knows what they're getting into would ever date Taylor Swift. This will either end in marriage and a family, or a Grammy nomination. Number 6, Aaron and Sam Taylor Johnson. Many viewers will recognize Aaron's face. He's been the leading man in several movies over the years, and a strong supporting actor as well, showcased in his recent role as Tangerine in Bullet Train. I can't say the title. In his recent role as Tangerine in the Brad Pitt movie with the title I can't say. In 2009, when he was just 19, Aaron played legendary musician John Lennon in a biopic called Nowhere Boy. The film told the story of a young John Lennon pre-Beatles fame during his adolescence, with a focus on his relationship with his family and his journey to becoming a Beatle. Now, the film was directed by a woman named Samantha Taylor Wood, who was 42 at the time. Samantha is a producer and director, best known for her 2015 romantic thriller 50 Shades of Grey. Call it romantic. It would appear that Aaron's performance as John, particularly the steamy sections, caught her attention in quite a few ways, and the pair started seeing each other on the down low. 2 years later, they got married, and they now share each other's last name, Taylor Johnson, and currently live with their 4 kids in Los Angeles. Happy ending to a happy list. Number 5, Avril Lavigne and Tyga. Now, chill out, what you yelling for? Avril's single now, y'all. The skater boy singer was dating fellow musician Tyga since being spotted together at a Paris fashion show in March of this year, when she had just broken up with her boo Mod son. Sounds like an anime villain, and as many do, she decided to jet off to France to seek some comfort. Tyga was also in a similar boat, having split with his ex, Black China, and seeking a similar solace in the fashion world. Their relationship was heavily publicized by themselves, and they were constantly posting pictures and videos of themselves cuddling and just, being close. Recently, the couple decided to call it quits though, but are apparently still friends and talk behind the scenes. Tyga even gifted Avril Lavigne an $80,000 necklace earlier this year. No reason in particular, he just did it. This dude loved her no matter how much it cost, so it's nice to know that they won't be jamming their wealth and PDA down people's throats anymore. Or will they? We shall see. Number 4, Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny. Earlier this year, the musician known as Bad Bunny was spotted on a night out with his boo-boo, Kendall Jenner. the youngest of the Kardashian clan. The two were seen together having a tiff at a Lakers game of all places because they were sitting courtside wearing the skin of their enemies on their boots, aka snakeskin. While the game was mostly filled with smiles and joy, there was a moment before the game got a little bit too heated where it looks like the couple might not be as close as we thought. In a short clip taken from the game, Bad Bunny leans in close to Kendall and whispers something that makes her face go from, "Ooh, I love basketball," to, "This is not the time or place." Now, at first the speculation was that there was just an uncomfortable question being asked and they moved on, but the way that Bunny's mouth is shaped is making many people speculate that he may have just had bad breath and Kendall was getting a whiff of it. The rest of the game was fine and they had a good time, but their faces were never close together again. The internet just went nuts about that one. Number 3, Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Timothy is slowly building his acting repertoire in Hollywood, and so far it seems to be going really well. He starred as the lead in Dune, and he is going to be in the Willy Wonka movie coming out in like a week, and I'm very excited to see that. It was also recently announced that he is seeing Kylie Jenner basically every week. While the announcement of them being a couple is a little bit out of nowhere and it hasn't been like solidly confirmed, the fact is that Kylie has been co-parenting her 2 kids with Travis Scott, and he did not appreciate this secret. He said that he felt blindsided by the announcement but respects their decisions to move on romantically. This relationship isn't all that recent, however, as it was reported that the two may have shared a private moment during her marriage to Scott. Neither party have confirmed or denied those rumors because, you know, they're rumors, but just seeing these two in a picture together makes us think there's gotta be something, you know, maybe there's something there. They're cute. Number 2, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. Pop star and Broadway giant are set to be in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana plays Glinda the Good, and Slater is Bach, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. Now, it's ironic that Ariana is the good witch in this movie because she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan was married to a woman named Lily J since 2008, and they even welcomed their first child together in 2022. Apparently, Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set and started dating each other behind the scenes. However, an on-set insider shared that information to Slater's wife, who was furious. I wonder why. While the couple have agreed to raise their kid as co-parents, Ethan officially filed for a divorce in July of this year, and the internet will not let it go. And at number 1, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. A lot can be said about these people, so I'll keep it brief. Cheating rumors and dating scandals have followed this couple through their entire relationship. Since the first day they got together, people were convinced that they were in an open relationship, they'd been cheating on each other, just something. And it turns out that that is basically 100% true. Ahead of the release of her book, Worthy, Jada sat down with People magazine to share some inside information, which the most revealing of which was that Will Smith has actually been separated from her for like 7 years. Despite being a happy couple on the outside, the truth is they decided to go their separate ways, emotionally speaking, a long time ago. Since 2016, Jada and Will have just been living in the same house and appearing on red carpet events together, but behind the scenes they just don't talk or do things. Considering the massive size of Will's house, it's easy to imagine Jada just jamming herself in a corner and being like, "This is my spot." She continued to say that she felt pressured into being with Will because it was mainly his idea to get together in the first place, and 2 kids and 1 marriage later, it would appear that Jada finally came to her senses, and I'm really hoping they split up at some point soon, because I don't like that lady. Number 9, Britney Spears and Jason Alexander. Britney and Jason's marriage is well known to be one of the shortest celebrity marriages of all time, lasting a total of 55 hours. Britney went into great detail about the brief and whirlwind marriage in her memoir, The Woman in Me. According to both parties, the night was the result of an apparent last-minute call to action, if you will. Jason had received a request from Britney to make his way to Las Vegas for a night of fun. He arrived, and there were apparently a few party favors, which is code for no snow. After a few rounds of fun, they decided it would be a great idea to get married because they were in Vegas. Why not, right? They were married on January 3rd, and by the end of the day on January 5th, they decided to split up. According to the court documents attached to the annulment, they claimed that Britney had zero understanding of how serious the situation really was, or what getting legally married actually meant. That is really all it boiled down to. He was just a friend helping another friend in a time of need, and at that time, she needed someone to bury their face in a pile of no snow and put a ring on it. Number 8, Tracy Edmonds and Eddie Murphy. Eddie is of course best known for his comedic roles in movies like The Nutty Professor and Meet Dave, but he is also known for being quite a player. He's been attached romantically speaking to several celebrities over the years, even sharing a daughter with Mel B from the Spice Girls. However, his most short-lived and questionable marriage marriage was to his friend Tracy Edmonds. The two did not get married legally in the United States. Instead, they had a small ceremony in the French Polynesian region of Bora Bora. The quick shift from lovers to enemies had apparently been the result of Eddie's personality completely shifting the moment that they decided to get married. According to a friend close to Tracy, Eddie started getting very physically intimidating and bossy as their marriage became official. He also insisted that his mother came with them on their honeymoon, which that's a red flag. That was the final straw for Tracy, and after 2 weeks she decided to call it quits for good. What many people may not know is that Eddie actually has about 10 kids with multiple women, 2 more, and he can star in his own Cheaper by the Dozen remake. Eddie is known in Hollywood for having a bit of a shifting personality, but these days he seems to have gotten more comfortable in his role as a papa. Number 7, Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries. Kim and Kris became acquainted after one of Kris's NBA teammates introduced them. They got together and dated for a little under a year before Kris popped the question. They got married, and the entire ceremony was released as a special on E! Called Kim's Fairy Tale Wedding, and I want to vomit when I say that out loud. The special aired only days before she filed for a divorce, and according to a source close to the couple, Kris was not drinking the Kardashian Kool-Aid, so to speak. Kris was the one who filed the annulment and cited fraud as the reason. According to him, the marriage was not born out of love, it was just Kim agreeing to marry him so that they could film it and make some money. The entire thing in his eyes was just one big publicity stunt, and honestly, I believe him. A ton of celebrities get married all the time, but when these guys tied the knot, it was at the peak of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and this just seemed like a logical move to increase viewers and make some extra cash. As the divorce dragged on, Kim moved on to Kanye West, and not long after announced their first child was on the way. Ever since that divorce was settled in 2013, Kris has avoided the spotlight in every way, shape, and form. Number 6, Nick Cage and Lisa Marie Presley. Nick Cage is not just a wild man when it comes to the characters that he plays on screen, he's actually apparently a whirlwind of emotions, romantically speaking as well. He's had 5 marriages altogether, with his shortest and most regretful one being with the late Lisa Marie Presley in 2002. They had met at a party in 2000, and after 2 years of dating, they decided to make things official, but only 3 months later, the divorce papers were signed, sealed, and delivered. It actually took another 2 years for the divorce to become final. According to Nick, the marriage was a no-brainer. They had fun together, and both came from famous and artistic families. He later commented that when you put 2 people with larger-than-life personalities in front of each other, they can have trouble meshing together. They fell into a pattern of breaking up and getting back together over and over again until the correct decision in their eyes was to tie the knot. Because you know, the best way to start a marriage is by wearing them down. Number 5, Tom Green and Drew Barrymore. Tom Green is a great comedian, and when he appears in things delivering his signature brand of comedy, it's just a fun little surprise. It turns out that Tom and his former Charlie's Angels co-star Drew Barrymore were briefly married in the early 2000s. The two met on set of that film and dated for a year before getting married. 1 year after that, they filed for a divorce. The fact was that at the time, they were both just young and got a little bit too excited. Barrymore told Howard Stern on his show in 2020 that she and her then husband just didn't have the maturity needed to have a healthy relationship. She said that she did not know how to manage herself, and she's always said that she is a woman in the boardroom and a child at home. She could pitch a project but had trouble handling things in her own personal life. The two reconnected on an episode of the Drew Barrymore show where they greeted each other like old friends. Apparently they just put things in the past a long time ago and considered that time to have been a learning experience. Number 4, Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush. After meeting on the set of the CW series One Tree Hill, Chad and Sophia got together as a real-world couple. During an interview with MTV, he gushed about Sophia being the most wonderful, kind, and intelligent person that he had ever been with. The couple got together officially in 2005, but their love was short-lived. As soon as they got married, Chad started doing press for the horror film House of Wax, literally being forced to spend his honeymoon sitting in chairs and telling people how much fun it was to work with Jared Padalecki. After only 5 months of marriage and the relationship just kind of simply fizzled out, they decided to split. Unfortunately for them, this meant being forced to continue working together on One Tree Hill. According to them, the split and the following acting gig was not easy for them to do. At the end of the day though, they are both adults who made the show work as best as they could. The main thing that made it so hard was all of the press and negativity from media outlets, with the network literally playing ads about how terrible things were during the show. Eventually, they found love with other people, and so far far, so good. Most people are probably just upset that his wife didn't end up being Hilary Duff. Number 3, Elizabeth Moss and Fred Armisen. Saturday Night Live has been the cause of many famous relationships in Hollywood. Current Weekend Update host Colin Jost met and married Scarlett Johansson after she hosted the show in 2010. They took some time before actually dating, but are currently married and things seem to be doing well. Elizabeth was in a similar situation after making a cameo during the show in 2008 when her Mad Men co-star Jon Hamm was hosting. This is where she met comedian and drummer Fred Armisen. Fred is well known outside of the world of SNL for his stellar character acting and overall just talent to make people laugh. He was most recently featured in one of the final episodes of the series Wednesday on Netflix as Uncle Fester, but has been working hard behind the scenes for years. Himself and Liz got together in 2008 and started seeing each other regularly, developing a romantic connection and getting engaged only 3 months after they were official. By 2009, they were married and by all accounts seemed happy, but less than a year after that, they split, with Elizabeth Moss claiming irreconcilable differences on the paperwork. In the following year, she got more in-depth about the marriage and revealed that Fred may be known for his impressions, but his best one is that of a normal human being. Not long after Lizzie made these statements, Fred actually backed that up, telling Howard Stern that he was a terrible boyfriend and husband. He clarified that when he's in a relationship, he wants it all fast and he wants marriage placed together, and somewhere around a year or so, he gets freaked out emotionally. Elizabeth actually used the words traumatic, awful, and horrible when describing her time with Fred. Number 2, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Esposito. The relationship between these two was short and sweet, but also very private, so there is no clear idea of when they actually met or got together officially. They actually didn't even tell the public that they were a couple for the first few months of their relationship. In 2006, they tied the knot in the south of France, and roughly 5 months later, they had split. Brad has a track record of dating his co-stars, having been involved with Renee Zellweger, Zoe Saldana, and Suki Waterhouse, to name a few. However, those marriages lasted longer than this one did. Jen filed for a divorce, but recalled that the split was a mutual decision. Bradley revealed that they just both realized they had chosen the wrong person to live the rest of their lives with, despite the love between them. They stayed private between A and B, and these days continue to keep their information private, so let's move on to number 1. Number 1, Jim Carrey and Lauren Holly. Jim has had his fair share of marriages and relationships over the years. He met his first wife, Melissa, in the 80s when they were both financially struggling. Their relationship was rocky and eventually they were divorced. By the time the papers were finalized, he had already met and started getting serious with Lauren Holly, his co-star from Dumb and Dumber. According to Melissa, she believed that there was some crossover between herself and Lauren, being a third party that split them up in the first place, but Holly has denied these accusations through and through. Their marriage only lasted 1 year before Holly and Carrey split for good. The split was again nothing more than just the natural progression of a failed relationship. Things did go stale and they did not want to get stuck in a rut. And why not? Honorable mention, Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock, just cuz.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Tom Cruise. When it comes to Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' relationship, it makes a lot more sense than the obsessed tabloids diving in to learn about why the couple truly went their separate ways. Even though the press breathlessly covered every aspect of the pair's relationship, a lot of people still have no idea what led to their split. But if you follow Tom's admission about Scientology and his role within the controversial religion, then you might be one of those people that concluded his religion was solely responsible for their split. However, in reality, it seems naive since their relationship was far more complicated to believe that the couple split for that very reason, but was saying that it did play a major role in the divorce since Katie had to make it clear that her daughter needed to be protected from Tom in the church. Not to mention, even Tom was able to get it approved that Katie couldn't date for 5 years following the couple's divorce so it wouldn't embarrass him, which proves that he was a little controlling in his marriage with Katie. Number 9, Amber Heard. After just a year of being married, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard would call it quits. And during this time, Amber would make some absurd comments about why she chose to leave Johnny, where she claimed their relationship was crumbling because of his heavy drinking, substance use, violence, and domestic abuse. While friends of Johnny leaped to the star's defense and called Amber a gold digger who was just fabricating all of those claims in order to squeeze as much money as she could from their brief union. While the whole world was beginning to choose to take Amber's side, many people people should have really listened to Johnny's friends, as they were right, as Amber was really just a vindictive ex that wanted to ruin Johnny's career. Ultimately, however, though, during the pair's divorce, Johnny agreed to pay Amber $7 million, and Amber pledged to donate the money to charity, something Amber never ended up doing. Later, Johnny was then able to repair his reputation in Hollywood after he won his defamation case against Amber Heard and sued her for $15 million in the process. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Angelina Jolie. While Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie first met on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, both were still very much married to other people. While Angelina was with Billy Bob Thornton, Brad was with Jennifer Aniston, and it started off to be one of the most scandalous relationships Hollywood has ever seen, and it soon morphed into one of Hollywood's most solid, stable marriages, despite frequent tabloid stories that started to say cracks were starting to form in their relationship. And those rumors turned out to be more true than we realized, as when the pair announced their plans to divorce back in September 2016, things immediately took an ugly turn as Angelina started to make huge accusations that claimed Brad had gotten physical with not just her but one of the couple's children during a fight on a private jet. While the accusations have been one giant spectacle, some have extended compassion to Jolie and her kids, while others have sided with Pitt as they have started to expose Angelina's dark past and painted her as a vindictive ex on a mission to ruin Brad's reputation the same way Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. Number 7. Kris Jenner. 11 months after Bruce Jenner, who is now known as Caitlyn Jenner, and Kris announced their separation, they would soon head towards a divorce after being married to each other for over 25 years. The divorce would follow up with the tabloids claiming that Bruce was planning on transitioning. Those reports ended up being true, as the Olympic gold medalist soon re-emerged to the public as Caitlyn Jenner. While in the beginning Kris tried to play things off and make everybody believe that their split was amicable, that would all soon change after Caitlyn decided to publish a memoir called Secrets of My Life. And in this memoir, Caitlyn painted an unflattering portrait of Kris, which resulted in Kris bash Caitlyn publicly on her family's reality TV show, of course, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where she said she's just literally started 3 families with 3 different people and effed everyone over. And it really makes you wonder if it was Caitlyn who effed Kris over, or was it Kris who effed Caitlyn over. Number 6. Kanye West. The epic split between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West was an epic mess. With its generous cast of plus ones, parenting responsibilities, brand fortunes, a family TV franchise, political and racial trolling, it became a perfect divorce for the Instagram age. Even though Kanye spent most of the divorce process trolling the Kardashians, the split appeared to be progressing smoothly enough. While no split is easy, Kanye definitely made things hard for Kim, especially when she was trying to move on with Pete Davidson. Kanye was so mad about Kim moving on that he even started to troll Pete, and it got to the point that Pete even had to take a step back from the relationship, split from Kim, so he could focus on his mental health. Kim then started to weigh in her options as Kanye started to hit the headlines for his very controversial comments amid his equally controversial presidential campaign. In the end, Kanye would lose around $2.1 billion of his assets, not to mention the billions of dollars that he lost from agencies and brands dropping him as a client. Number 5. Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods was married to model Ellen Nordegren, he started to go viral after Tiger cheated on her. Headlines would soon start to claim that Ellen attacked the famous golfer with a golf club right after she learned about his infidelity, which led to subsequent revelations that he had been carrying on in numerous affairs with multiple women throughout their relationship. The ensuing scandal would then go on to cost the golfer millions of dollars as he lost endorsement deals, and then when the pair's divorce was finally settled, it would be reported that the golfer lost millions again, as he was then forced to fork out $100 million to pay his ex-wife. Not only did Tiger's career end, but he also lost between $5 to $12 billion, and then he had to spend 45 days in therapy. Number 4. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen's ill-fated marriage to Denise Richards ended in 2005 with a seemingly endless parade of bombshells that came from Denise as she painted a picture to the public about what it was like actually to be married to Charlie Sheen. Denise's allegations against Charlie included violence, substances, X-rated videos, escorts, threats, and even more. Charlie then would not do him any favors, as he would then start to refer to Denise with such charming epithets, such as The time he called her a washed up piglet shame pile. Since the two got divorced, the exes have somewhat appeared to be friendly and other times not, as if you go back to January of 2016, Denise would sue Charlie for more than $1 million, claiming that he evicted Denise and her children from the home he purchased for her and their children, where she would also allege in court documents that he once even told their daughter Lola that she was a pig and told her that he was going to end her and Denise. Number 3. Heather Mills. When Paul McCartney's 6-year marriage to Heather Mills came to a bitter end in 2008, Heather would be quick to claim that the former Beatle member was constantly stoned throughout their marriage and that he ultimately held back her career. While Paul went on to deny Heather's accusations, like he should, Heather would soon start to paint herself to be a gold digger as she started to seek half of Paul's fortune, which was estimated at being hundreds of millions at the time. In the end, Heather was able to walk away with $50 million in settlement, as apparently there was no prenup. To say otherwise, since the divorce, Paul has admitted that marrying Heather was a prime contender for being the biggest mistake he's ever made in his life. And since the star has remarried, Heather every now and then continues to attempt to drag his name into the mud as she talks to the press, like the time she mentioned that the only reason Paul was still working with Kanye and Rihanna was due to the fact that the star was desperate to stay relevant. But he's always been relevant. Number 2. Jesse James. When Sandra Bullock was married to Jesse James, life couldn't have been any better for the actress, as she had just won her first Oscar and she was in the process of adopting her son David, all while she was happily married to motorcycle consumer and Discovery Channel host Jesse James. What appeared to be a solid union, however, all came crashing down when the tabloids started to reveal that Jesse and Sandra's relationship wasn't as perfect as we all thought. When the media outlets all over the world started to admit that Jesse had been cheating on the American sweetheart with a bevy of heavily tattooed biker type women, the marriage ended shortly after, and since the two have gone their separate ways, Jesse consistently describes himself as being the most hated man in the world, but honestly, now he's just become the most forgotten man in the world. And coming in number 1 today, we have Mary Harvey. So when comedian and TV host Steve Harvey, best known for his role in the game show Family Feud, filed for a divorce from his second wife, Mary Harvey. When their divorce was finally settled in 2005, with Mary receiving 3 of the couple's homes as well as $40,000 a month until 2009, the ugliness didn't seem to stop. Even after their divorce was finalized, as in 2013, Mary had to spend 20 days in the slammer for violating a confidentiality clause in the divorce agreement, and in spring of 2017 launched a $60 million lawsuit against her ex and accused the Family Feud host, among other things, as being a soul sucker. She went on to describe her life in the marriage as being a combination of torture, deprivation, and brainwashing. Steve's attorneys then responded by dismissing her suit as meritless, frivolous, and completely false.
At number 10, Iggy Azalea and Nick Young. When you've been unfaithful to your partner, it pretty much makes you an awful person, and you're bound to get exposed for it, especially if you're a celebrity. No one really gets away with cheating, especially these days because of our presence on social media, making things difficult to hide. Back in 2016, basketball player Nick Young was exposed by one of his teammates for having cheated on his then fiancée, Iggy Azalea. D'Angelo Russell, Nick's teammate, had recorded Nick talking about how he had cheated on Iggy, and the footage was leaked to the internet. This caused Iggy to postpone their wedding, but things ultimately ended a few months later after Iggy caught Nick on her security cameras bringing in other women into their house when she wasn't there. This was the last straw for Iggy, but it also didn't help Nick's case after it was alleged that he had gotten his ex pregnant again while still in a relationship with Iggy. It certainly is a good thing that they didn't end up getting married. At number 9, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. At this point, knowing that Tristan Thompson is a pretty awful partner really isn't anything new. Now, I know that Khloe and Tristan aren't actually married, but they're pretty close, and I mean, we can't talk about awful partners without discussing their toxic relationship. All of their relationship drama started back in 2018, and we're still seeing the two of them making headlines together in 2021, so I mean, they're kind of perfect for this list. In April 2018, just shortly before their daughter True was born, photos of Tristan appearing to cheat were leaked, and obviously this wasn't good, but things got even worse when TMZ leaked footage from 2017, which showed Tristan allegedly kissing women at a club. Things mostly died down after their daughter was born, but later in 2019, more cheating allegations came out detailing how he had been cheating on Khloe again, this time with their longtime family friend Jordyn Woods. This ended them for good, or so we thought. Now in 2021, people are still talking about them, and honestly I don't know what's going on with them anymore. Before we carry on talking about some of the worst celebrity couples and what went wrong, why not leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Mariah Carey and Tommy Modella. In September 2020, singer Mariah Carey revealed in her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, that she had once been unfaithful to her first husband. In her book, Mariah wrote about how during her first marriage to music executive Tommy Modella, she cheated on him with baseball star Derek Jeter. Mariah talked about how she felt trapped in her marriage because of the age difference and because her husband was controlling. Now, cheating isn't necessarily excusable, but after opening up about how Tommy treated her, you can kind of see why she wanted to escape and find someone new. Tommy's treatment of Mariah prompted her to seek out a temporary escape, and after meeting Derek at a dinner party in 1997, she bonded with him. Mariah also revealed that soon she and Derek started talking, leading to them to having a quote, warm, slow, intoxicating kiss on Derek's roof. End quote. The singer said that after that kiss they never went any further because she was still married, saying quote, neither of us wanted to cheapen our romance by cheating on my marriage. End quote. Both Mariah and Tommy were awful partners to each other. At number 7, Dominic West and Catherine Fitzgerald. In the fall of 2020, actor Dominic West shocked a lot of people, including his wife, when photos surfaced online of him looking to be getting pretty close with actress Lily James. The leaked images showed the actor ringless on an outing, getting cozy with his co-star in Rome. He was spotted kissing and caressing the actress, and there were sources claiming that he and Lily had shared a hotel room as well. When reports of this alleged affair came out, a source close to Dominic's wife, Catherine, said that she was quote, devastated and heartbroken, going on to say that she believed that she and her husband had a good marriage. Clearly, there was something wrong there. This scandal, however, took an interesting turn just days after the story first broke, as Dominic and his wife were spotted together kissing in front of paparazzi, and the couple even released a handwritten note to news outlets saying quote, our marriage is strong and we're very much still together, end quote. Now, not only did Dominic cheat, but Catherine still took him back after all that. You cannot catch me forgiving someone like that, especially after it became public. Dominic was certainly an awful person for putting his wife through all of that. At number 6, Jesse Metcalfe and Cara Santana. In 2020, Desperate Housewives actor Jesse Metcalfe and actress Cara Santana called it quits after a 10-year-long relationship, and things were pretty messy. After announcing their breakup publicly in the days following, they were hit with a cheating scandal as cheating allegations came out after Jesse was seen with another woman just days before news broke of the couple's separation. On top of that, paparazzi images showed Jesse with a blonde woman who he appeared to have his arm around and kissing her cheek. Basically, he was caught red-handed. To make matters worse, the actor was allegedly seen with another woman whom he was getting close to. Everything happened so fast that Cara told sources that she felt totally blindsided by the whole affair and that she thought everything was fine between them. To make matters worse for Cara, she apparently didn't know that they were broken up until she saw it in the news. It's alleged that there was no face-to-face breakup and that she found out when the rest of the public did too. They were set to get married in the near future, so you know, technically she didn't marry this awful partner, but she almost did, and it would have been even worse to find out about all of this infidelity after tying the knot. At number 5, Kevin Hart and Aniko Hart. Kevin Hart had a lot of making up to do after his explosive cheating scandal made him look like an awful person. Kevin was caught cheating on his wife Aniko Parrish after someone came forward trying to extort the comedian for $10 million in exchange for not releasing footage which showed him being unfaithful to his wife. Since he had essentially been caught, he owned up to his actions and issued a public apology to Aniko on his Instagram where he said quote, I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. At the end of the day, I gotta do better, but I'm also not going to allow a person to have financial gain off my mistakes, and in this particular situation, that's what was attempted, end quote. Some people pointed out that his apology didn't really include much accountability for his actions, but it was enough to keep Kevin and Aniko together, even though the trust in their relationship was seriously broken. They welcomed their first child together shortly after the scandal happened, and they continued continue to support one another, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Eniko is with a pretty awful partner. At number 4, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. After finding herself in a bit of a summer scandal, Jada Pinkett Smith was the center of attention for a little while last year after her entanglement with singer August Alsina went public. Jada faced some backlash for her relationship with the singer for a few reasons, one of which obviously being her relationship with Will Smith. When news broke of Jada's relationship with August, people immediately thought that she had been cheating on Will and that this news was going to blow up in his face. Many fans sent their support to Will because it looked like he had been facing a huge cheating scandal, but after discussing it on their Facebook watch show, Red Table Talk, they revealed that the two of them had separated a few years ago and that they were more so in an open relationship. Regardless, people still believed that Jada was pretty awful because Will looked to be a little hurt by her entanglement with August. But what do you think? Was it considered cheating? And do you think Jada is an awful person for doing this? At number 3, Clark Gable. Old Hollywood has a whole lot of mystery and scandal hidden behind a bright, shiny Hollywood sign. There was some dark stuff that went down back then, and it's only now that people are actually talking about it. One scandal that people were fascinated with was about actor Clark Gable and his secret daughter. While starring in the 1935 film The Call of the Wind alongside actress Loretta Young, Clark was involved in an extramarital affair with his co-star, and their affair ended with them producing a daughter. Not only did he become an awful person for having an affair and bringing another life into the world through it, but they also set that kid up for a life full of drama because they tried to cover it all up. Because a scandal like this would have meant the end of their careers, they tried to cover it up, but obviously we still found out. Loretta tried to conceal her pregnancy as best she could, even coming up with an elaborate plan to go on holiday as soon as her bump became too difficult to hide. She ended up having the baby and gave her up for adoption. Despite their effort to cover it all up, they were eventually exposed because the baby, whom they named Judith, inherited Clark's signature ears. All of this just made Clark look pretty bad, and honestly I feel bad for his spouse, but then again, Clark had a history of cheating, so this wasn't the first time he was seen in a bad light. At number 2, Anne Hathaway. Now, even though they didn't end up getting married, they were still pretty close to it, and it's probably for the best that things ended when they did, because Anne Hathaway nearly married a pretty horrible person. The actress was once in a 4-year relationship with Italian businessman Raffaello Folori, and they were reportedly close to getting married. That is until things came crashing down when it was discovered that Raffaello was involved in money laundering. He was arrested in 2008, and as you can imagine, the relationship stopped right then and there, and it's a good thing that she didn't stick around. And finally, at number 1, Mario Lopez and Ali Laundrie. Turns out that perhaps Mario Lopez isn't as nice as we may have thought, because apparently he cheated on his soon-to-be wife Ali Laundrie just days before their wedding. Mario confessed to Howard Stern in 2011 that back in 2004 he had cheated on Ali during his bachelor party. That's a pretty awful thing to do. I mean, just days before tying the knot too. Understandably, their marriage didn't last long at all, and they got it annulled just 2 weeks after getting married. To make matters worse though, Mario wrote about the experience in his memoir where he revealed that he didn't even love Ali, saying, quote, "Lightning hit me with the truth. I wasn't in love, but I walked down the aisle anyway."